going live today to talk about human design, because I've been talking about it a lot, but I don't think a lot of people really understand or know what it is. So I figured I'd get on here and explain it. How's everybody doing today? I'm lighting some Palo Santo. It's my favorite smell and clearing agent. Cleansing. All right, so first I want to ask you guys, are you familiar with human design? Have you ever heard of it? Do you know what your human design type is? Let me know in the comments if you do. I am a 5/1 emotional manifesting generator. So those are the three things. You have your human design type, you have your human design inner authority, and you have your human design profile that really kind of solidifies, you know, your personality or your energetic blueprint. Hi, Lori. Thank you for tuning in. Okay, so let's start with the basics, okay? So human design, basically what it is, I like to say it's like astrology on like steroids or crack or something, because it is like so much more precise and detailed than astrology, because, you know, basically, you know, you have 12 zodiac signs that cycle through the year. With human design, you actually go through 64 different gates. So a lot of times, you know, like for example, I'm a Virgo, but I'm not like a lot of other Virgos, and that's because they have a different expression of Virgo than I do, because within the 12 different zodiac signs, like I said, there's 64 gates. The human design gates go into a new gate every 6 days. So instead of 12 zodiac signs that shift 12 times a year, we have 64 gates that shift 64 days a year. And then of course, depending on where those gates are, when we're born, when all of the other planets are aligned, you know, we have all these expressions. This is what a human design chart looks like. This is mine. And these are, hold on, I don't know how to explain this. This is my conscious expression, and this is my unconscious expression, okay? So this is where the sun and the moon and all the planets were at the time of my birth, and this is where the sun, moon, and planets were about 88 days before I was born. And that's kind of like what they say when our soul enters our body before we're born. That creates that expression, that energetic expression. Now, all of these dates, these numbers here and here, are what are filled in here. And they can, you know, this is a gate, this is a gate, this is a gate. Each little filled in line is a gate, and depending on which gates are connected or filled in determines which one of your energy centers are defined or undefined, okay? So there's like so much to it. I'm here to teach this, okay? But really what I love about human design is that once you look at your human design chart and you understand how your energy best works with the universe around you and all the other people around you, not only is that liberating, but also the characteristic traits that each one of these gates represents, the archetypes that dwell within us, okay? And each one of these gates has a shadow and a gift. So we could be expressing these gates in a lower frequency, or we could be expressing these archetype, you know, these gates in a higher frequency, depending on where we are, our awareness, our consciousness. Okay, you're a Leo and you resonate more with a Gemini and a Cancer. Okay, well, you might have a lot of Gemini and Cancer gates, so that's something to look into. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, Lori. I definitely understand how you feel. My mom passed away in 2017, and she was like my rock. And I also kind of went through like a dark night of the soul after that, and trying to figure out who I was. And went on this whole spiritual journey that I'm on now, and that's kind of how I found myself here. So I definitely understand. So I want to go over the 5 different types of the 5 human design types. Okay, there are the manifestors, there are the manifesting generators, there are generators, there are projectors, and there are reflectors. The most common human design type is a generator. They make up about 70% of the human population. Now, this includes generators and manifesting generators. So there's a little bit more, I want to say around like more 35 or up percentage of generators than there, and then like 32-ish% manifesting generators. Manifesting generators are a subtype of generators. What makes you a generator is your sacral center is defined or colored in, and that is your life force energy. Generators are the people that carry out projects or anything that lights them up, any type of job, any type of duty, you know, anything that their heart or their gut is like, ooh, I want to do that. You know, that's what generators are here to do. If they find themselves committing to things that aren't aligned for them or do not light them up, things that just kind of like make them feel cringy inside, then they will find that they become burnt out. Their energy is burnt out. Like they don't have that life force energy to carry out the completion of a project. But if they love what they're doing and they're lit up with what they're doing, they have so much life force energy that like they can just carry out the acceleration of a they can complete the project without burning out because they actually love what they're doing. That life force energy sustains itself and just keeps them going. So generators are like the builders, the creators of the world. They're the ones that take ideas of others, normally manifestors, and can actually create into physical form just a thought or an idea, right? So that's what the generators are here for. They have a very wide open aura, very like open, enveloping aura that unconsciously tells people to come in and create. Since they have that creative life force energy, it naturally draws people to them where they have an opportunity to respond to opportunities, people, things, business ideas, whatever it is. So the main thing about generators is that they need to respond to life around them. They need to respond to the stimulus around them. They are not supposed to take their own ideas and initiate them, right? Now, if they see like a commercial that gives them an idea to initiate in life, that's different. They're actually responding to the commercial. So it's all about responding to life. That is your strategy, to respond to life. If you find that you're out here initiating your own ideas and you're not responding to something, you become frustrated because you're not supposed to do that. Like you don't have, it could fail. Your ideas could fail because your energetic frequency does not necessarily initiate. So that's where a lot of generators can start to become frustrated, or if they end up dedicating themselves to projects that are not aligned for them, they can feel frustrated and burnt out. So anytime a generator feels frustrated, that is their sign to let them know that whatever they're doing is not aligned for them and that they need to take a step back, reevaluate the situation, and then find something that they can respond to that makes their stomach go, yes, I want to do that. It feels like it's expanding me. But as soon as they feel retracted, like, I don't want to do that, it's not aligned for them. So that's very important for generators to understand. It's very important for generators to understand that they are supposed to respond to life, not initiate it, okay? And that doesn't mean that you're just sitting around waiting for things. Like, you could literally look at something, like, for example, my plant. I'm responding. I need to water my plant. That's me responding to it. You know, it's not like you're sitting around and waiting for people to like ask you to do things and stuff like that. So you're just responding to the stimulus around you. You might see something and then be inspired by it. And then you ask your gut, is this something that I want to do? And if it's like, yes, let's do it. And you're like leaning forward, or you get that, yes, that inner feeling. That's the generator's defined sacral speaking to them, their gut saying, ooh, yes, we have the energy for this. Or if they feel retracted, like, I don't want to do that. Or somebody asks you, hey, you want to do this? And you're like, it's a no. Don't do it. It's not aligned for you. Okay. So let's go on to, you cannot change, Lori. You are born a specific human design type. It's all based on where you were born, your date, your birth date, location, and birth time. And basically what happens is when you're born, the energies that are in the air, that are in the etheric, field around us that, we can't see, those energies are actually imprinted into our genetic coding, our DNA, literally. So, the energies from the planets, the sun, the moon, wherever they are, those gates are what is imprinted as soon as we take our first breath of life, if that makes sense. Okay, so the next, we'll go straight into, actually I want to do manifestors next, because the manifesting generators is kind of a combination of the two. So we'll talk about manifestors next. If you are a manifestor, you are here to initiate and inform people of your ideas. So what happens as a manifestor, you get divine ideas, divine inspiration that comes to you, and you are the one to initiate ideas. You're like, hey, I have an idea. I'm really feeling called to do this. Let's do this. And your strategy is to inform the people around you in order for your idea to manifest. Your strategy is to inform those involved in your idea or the people that are around you of what you want to create. Okay. And that's when the magic happens. When you inform, that's when you start to see the idea taking off and coming into fruition. That's where the generator will be like, ooh, you had a good idea. It's lighting me up. I want to respond to that. I want to create. I want to build with you that idea. That's where the manifestor has the idea, the initiation, and the generator comes in and responds to it and has that life force energy that's excited about creating it. And then the manifestor kind of is the leader, like, okay, this is what we're doing, da, 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 da. The manifestor doesn't have that defined sacral, so it doesn't necessarily have that life force energy to complete the project, but it does initiate the project. It does have that inspiration. It does have that leadership role. Now, the manifestor's aura is actually more dense and closed in and actually repels others, but not in a way where it's like, ew, I don't want to be. It's actually very magnetic because it's so strong of an aura that it's almost like, get out of my way. I've got things to manifest. I've got ideas to get out into the world, to share with the world, to inform the world. So move out of my way. And then what happens is, like, people are like, ooh, what are they doing? I'm drawn to that. I like that. It's something for us to respond to, right? Generators anyway. So that's how that energy stirs. If they are not in alignment, they feel anger. So let's just say they have this idea. Maybe they forget to inform those around them, or it's just not coming. It's not coming into creation in the way they originally desired. They can feel anger inside that, and then if they feel anger, that's lets them know that what they're doing is not aligned and that it's time to come back, decide, am I doing something that's completely out of alignment? Did I inform the people around me of what I'm trying to manifest? Because what happens a lot is manifestors, they just go ahead and start. They initiate their projects and don't let anybody know what they're doing. And because they did not inform those, their projects aren't coming to life. They didn't inform the people around them, if that makes sense. If they feel a sense of peace, that's when they know they are in alignment. Okay, so we have the manifestors that initiate and inform what their ideas are. We have the generators that respond to those ideas and actually create, because they have the life force energy as long as they are lit up by the ideas that the manifestors initiate. Okay, now the third type is the manifesting generator. Okay, that's what I am. The manifesting generator is almost like a combination of the generator and the manifestor. So we have the life force energy to create things that are feeling, aligned, things that light us up. And we also have that defined throat center, like the manifestor, where we have to inform. No, we don't have to. Technically, there are different schools of thought around this, but technically our strategy is to respond just like the generator. I personally find that when I respond and then inform those around me, things tend to go faster, move faster, and manifest faster for me. So I would recommend for the manifesting generator, if you find that you're a manifesting generator, to respond to life. And then also when you make a decision in response to life, you inform those around you about what your decision is. Okay. The manifesting generator is very similar to the generator, except we do not hold that life force energy on one project for as long as a generator can. Generator will like see through to the end of the project, to the completion of the project. The manifesting generator, we bounce around a lot. We get really bored really quick. We're like, no. Like, I'm done with this. It lit me up for a certain period of time. Now I need to move on to the next thing, which is why you see me like, my business is always like bouncing around from place to place, because I'm always lit up by new things. It's very important. We can be seen as flaky because of that, but it's very important that we follow what our gut is wanting to respond to, right? If we continue to work on a project that we're no longer lit up by, that's where we start feeling the frustration. That's where we start feeling the burnout. Okay, so it is important for us to move on to the next thing, whatever our new, shiny new object is that's distracting us, or it could also be a distraction, but this is just how our energy works. We move around from one thing to the next. We move very fast as well. But because we create very fast, we also tend to skip a lot of steps and have to go back and retrace those steps, retrace the things that we've missed. Okay, so we're here to really get projects moving very fast. The projects that the manifestors initiate and the generators are working on, we're kind of here to just like, hey, I got a new route. Let's try this route. Let's get there really quick. And then I'm out onto the next project, right? We also feel frustration when we're unaligned, and then satisfaction when we're doing what actually lights us up. Very, very important. So yes, the manifesting generator, we're multi-passionate people. We have a lot of interests. We tend to bounce around from one thing to the other. We tend to bounce around from job to job, interest to interest. We might just be the jack of all trades. I definitely consider myself somebody like that. Yes, Lori, two different types can be compatible. I feel like all types are compatible. And I will share, once I share the reflector and the projector with you, like I'm a manifesting generator and I'm with a manifesting generator. But I also, for some reason, I draw in projectors a lot for some reason. So, but I also I'm friends with all types. The only type that I've never met, or that I'm not aware of that I've met, is a reflector. And because they make up less than like 1% of the human population. So they're very, very rare. Okay, so the manifestors, they make about, I think it's like 20% of the population. And then the next type is the projector. I love projectors. They are like the guides, okay? So they're here to basically provide guidance to the manifestors, to the generators, to the manifesting generators, and to the reflectors. Projectors have an aura, like the manifestor's aura is, you know, really dense and repelling. The generator and the manifesting generator is very big and drawing people in. The projector's aura kind of penetrates into whoever they're focusing on. So literally their aura goes into the person and they can pick up on the energy of the people that they're focusing on. So they kind of know like what's best for us, what we're missing. They can give us advice, but the only issue is that they have to wait for the invitation in order to give advice, okay? If they give advice to people without being invited to give that advice, it's, you know, looked at as unwelcome, you know, like nobody asked you for your opinion kind of thing. Even though the advice they're giving is very wise, you know, it's key for projectors. Their strategy is to wait for the invitation. They just want to give all the recommendations and the guidance they have. But if they don't wait for the invitation to give that advice, to give the guidance, then it you know, it can be taken as unwelcome opinions or whatever, you know. And then what happens is they feel bitterness inside because all they want to do is help. They want to help guide. Nobody's taking their advice. Nobody's listening to them. And they feel bitterness inside. That's when they know they're not aligned. That's when they know they're not following their strategy, which is to wait for the invitation to give that guidance. In the meantime, while they're waiting, it's not like they're just sitting around doing nothing while they're waiting for people to ask for their guidance. What they're doing is they're showcasing their brilliance. So they're putting on display all of their knowledge, all of their wisdom. And what happens is people are drawn to that. And then those open invitations come in to where they can give their guidance. So projectors definitely, you know, they can feel energy of other people. Their aura is very penetrating. They know what is best for those that they are focused on. And as long as they're waiting, for the invitation in order to give the guidance that they know the person that they're focusing on needs, then they're doing everything that they're supposed to do. You know, do what you love, and then just wait for people to see how amazing you are by doing what you love, and then that invitation will come naturally. Success is what they feel when they are aligned. As they are providing guidance because they've been asked to, they provide guidance to the other, and then, you know, whatever wisdom or guidance they have is well received because they did wait for the invitation and it is aligned. They feel a sense of success inside. That is letting them know that they are aligned. Now, the last type. So we have the manifestors who initiate ideas, right? They're like the leaders. They know they have divine guidance that says, create this thing. They inform the people around them. Then you have the generators that respond to it, that are lit up by that idea, that want to create it with them. You have the manifesting generators that also are lit up by that idea and want to create with them, do it real fast, and then quickly move on to the next thing. Then you have the projectors, which are the guides of the whole situation and can give us divine knowledge and guidance on what the next step is, you know, as long as we're asking for it. And then the last type, the rarest type of all, less than 1% of the human population, is a reflector. And if you find that you're a reflector when you take, there's a link, I put a link in here somewhere if you guys want to know what your human design is. You click the link in my bio. You'll be basically signing up for my newsletter, which I don't really send out very often, but you will need your birth time, your birthplace, and birth date, obviously. And it will automatically calculate what your human design is for you based on that information, and will let you know what your type and strategy and inner authority and everything is. And there's like so much more to it. I'm literally scratching the surface of what human design is, you know, just talking about it. just scratching the surface. This is the basics, okay? It's very, very deep and nuanced. So, ooh, Lori, if you're a chameleon and you can alter your energy to fit the people around you, I mean, that sounds like a reflector, but like I said, it's so rare that I would be surprised if you were a reflector, but you might be a projector, because projectors have a very open design. The less colors, less definition in your chart, the less, there's like, the only way I can describe it is by showing you. These centers, the more, these are open and these colored ones are defined. The more open you are, the more of these little centers that are not colored in, the more you absorb those around you. So projectors are very open. That's how they can penetrate into the aura of the other. Now reflectors have nothing defined. They have none of those defined. So basically they're completely open. So what they do is they sample the energy of every room they walk in. Every person they come into contact, they're sampling their energy. They're kind of like a mirror, a reflective mirror that allows people to see aspects of themselves within the reflector. So the reflector's aura is just kind of like all over the place, like just sampling and testing out and kind of coming to conclusions and taking in all the information around them so that they can come to a universal truth, basically. And it's very important for them when making big decisions in life to wait a 28-day moon cycle, because they are lunar beings. They are moon beings, okay? They flow with the energy of the moon. So because they don't really have any solid definition in their human design, and they're taking in the energy of people around them, when, I don't know how to explain this, when we are defined, when our centers are colored in, we have a very solid definition. We're kind of like stuck in that way of being. That's who we are. That's our energetic blueprint. And people that don't have that actually kind of pick up on those defined centers of the people that they come into contact with. So it's very important for reflectors, because they are sampling all that energy to not make any decisions right away, big decisions in life, before waiting a whole monthly cycle, because they might make the wrong decision based on the environment that they're in, that they're currently in. Okay, so environment's very important for them. The people that they keep around them is very important, because they are so open and they are so influenced by the people and energies around them. Let's see here. I'm trying to think. Reflectors. I'm trying to think of what their. Yeah, so their strategy is to wait a moon cycle. And, oh, okay, when they're not aligned, they feel disappointment. When they feel disappointment, they're in the wrong place. They're in the wrong environment. They're around the wrong people, period. And it's time to take a step back and maybe put themselves in some new environments. Decide, like, what is not aligned about this environment and what can I do to change it, and put themselves around in new environments, around new people. And when they are aligned, they actually feel a sense of surprise. So they're in environments that constantly give them that sense of like, ooh, what's next? You know, like, so they're just taking in all of the information around them to come to a universal truth in a 30-day or 28-day cycle, moon cycle, you know, to, if somebody asks them to do something big, or let's just say they're buying a home, you know, it's very important that they wait that 28 days so that all the environments that they go in, they can sample, and they might, in this environment, they might feel this way about this decision, but as soon as they go in another environment, they might feel something differently. So that's why it's good to wait the 28 days, because they can come to a conclusion after collecting all the data, collecting all the information. After that 28-day cycle, they can come to a conclusion, a universal truth about their decision, if that makes sense. So there is a link. If you don't know your human design type, actually, if you do know your human design type, let me know in the comments. I'm very curious. If you don't know what your human design type is and you want more information, the link is right here. I put it somewhere in this live video. I don't know if it's in the comments or there's a link somewhere. Click on it, put in your name, your birth date, birthplace, and birth time. And it will give you, if you don't know your birth time, there are different ways that you can find that information. Your birth certificate, maybe you can contact the whoever does the birth certificates in your area. Maybe the hospital might have those records. Your mom, your dad might remember. A lot of people that don't have access to any of that, I've seen people use a, I can't think of what it's called. The little thing that hangs and it tells you yes or no. Pendulum. I've seen people use pendulums, and I actually used one to confirm my birth time because it wasn't on my birth certificate, and because my mom passed, I couldn't confirm it with her. She told my sister and I that we had the same birth time, so I knew like one of them wasn't right, and it turns out it was my birth time. My sister's birth time was something different, but yeah, Lori, check it out. I'm so curious as to what your human design is. Let me know in the comments whenever you find out what your human design is. And then stay tuned because I am going to be teaching a lot more about this. You know, we have the human design types, the manifestor, manifesting generator, projector, and reflector. Each type has a strategy. The generator is to respond. Manifesting generator is also to respond. Manifestor is to inform. Projector is to wait for the invitation, and reflector is to wait a moon cycle before making big decisions. And we also have inner authorities that I didn't go over because there are several different ones and they don't depend on what type you are. Your inner authority is what you use in your body that allows you to make decisions that are aligned or not aligned. Maybe I'll do that on the next live, talking about human design, because like I said, it's very intricate, it's very detailed, it's very precise, and you know, it will allow you to accept pieces and aspects of yourself that maybe you've suppressed for so long. I know if you're a manifestor or a projector and you feel like you don't have a lot of energy, it's because you don't have a lot of energy, and it's okay to rest. Manifestors and manifesting generators are really the only ones that have that sacral life force energy to carry out the completion of tasks and projects as far as like physical energy goes. Of course, everyone has physical energy, but you know, manifestors and projectors need to rest more often than generators do. And then also, if generators are doing things that don't light them up, then they also need to rest. That life force energy will be drained from them instead of ignited. So there's so much to it. Let me know what your human design type is by clicking the link in the bio. My website will give you a lot more insight. And then stay tuned. I'm going to be opening the Embody Me membership next week. That is a membership that allows conscious women to find, know, and love themselves again. Human design is something that we go in the third month of that membership. Month 3, we go deep into human design. You will learn all about your design, all about how you are built to flow with the people in the universe around you. It's so beautiful to accept pieces of yourself, you know, to understand that a lot of aspects of yourself that you've suppressed over time are there to stay, and that you don't have to hide them anymore. You can embrace them and love and accept those pieces of yourself as they are. And human design allows you to do that because it just confirms that these aspects are just a part of you. It's a part of your energetic blueprint, and it's okay to love those pieces of yourself that maybe weren't, you know, societal societally accepted, you know, whatever. Anyway, let me know if you have any questions. I do human design readings for $111 if you don't want to learn how to do it yourself. I personally, over the last 3 years, have taught myself how to read. But if you don't want to go down that route and you'd rather just have me read it for you, I'm more than happy to do that for you. The link in my bio also has that option where you can book a reading with me. So I love you guys. I hope you have, oh, you're a generator. Okay, nice. Do you remember, did it say what your profile is? Your profile is also something I didn't talk about today. That's kind of like your personality. So we'll go into that. Just stay tuned. Every time I go live, you know, I would love to have you here so you can learn more. And also, if you want to learn more, obviously, you can join the Embody Me membership. That's launching on January 9th. So stay tuned. I love you guys. Mwah! 3-6. Oh, nice. Okay. So the first half of your life, well, the 3 is somebody that's very, like adventurous. Okay. Like you love to try new things. You have to have experiences. Like somebody will tell you, don't do that. And you're going to do it just because you have to have that experience to learn. You don't learn from other people's experiences. You learn from your own. And you like putting yourself in situations, sometimes not the best situations, but just so that you can learn from those situations and then share your knowledge. Now, the 6th line, the first half of your life is like a 3. So you have like that 3, that really adventurous quality to you. And then the second half of your life with that line 6, you're going to be like the wise, what is it called? Where people like look up to you. You're going to be the role model. You're going to be like, been there, done that, learned all my lessons. Let me share with you the wisdom that I've gained so that you don't have to go through the same thing that I went through, right? But all through your life, you're still going to have that line 3, which you'll still be adventurous, but you'll also have like that very wise role model, universal wisdom aspect to you as well. So I love that. Awesome. And as you continue to dig further into your human design profile, you're going to be like, oh my God, that's me. That's me. That's me. And it's just going to blow your mind how much everything is for you. So Lori, because you're a generator, the most important thing for you is to listen to your gut. I don't know if did it tell you what your inner authority is? Are you a sacral or are you an emotional inner authority? Because that makes a difference. Okay, so you might have gone through your shift, your line 6 shift, where you were a little more wild and now you're becoming more reserved. So you're probably going through this transition. Okay, so Lori, since you're a sacral, what you want to do is really listen to your gut. So anytime somebody comes to you and says, hey, Lori, do you want to go here? Do you want to do this? Or there's this opportunity here for you. It's so important to listen to that sacral response. Is it a, yeah, I want to do it. Does it make you lean forward? Is it like, fuck yeah, like, oh my God, that sounds like, that's how you know it's aligned for you. Like your gut is going to tell you right away. Don't get into your head. Listen to this feeling right here. Or if somebody asks you to do something and you're immediately like, like you might even hear a grunt. You might hear a ooh or a Listen for that sacral response. It's going to either make you go forward, lean into it, or it's going to make you like retract back and you're going to be like, I don't know if I want to do that. Don't do it. If you feel neutral or a hell no, it's a no. It's only a yes. It's only aligned when that sacral is like, yes, right? And you'll know right away. That's the beauty of the sacral response. You know right away, as soon as they ask you whether it's aligned or not. You're gonna just tune into your body. Just tune into your body. Don't go into your mind where you start to like justify things and be like, well, you know, maybe if I did do it. After your body says no, just listen to it. Because what will happen is if you say yes to things that are not, that your body said no to, You're going to feel that burnout. You're going to feel that frustration. Okay. Yes. So you're very aware of your gut. Oh yeah. See, there you go. See, you're already aligned. So yeah. All right. I'm getting off. Thank you so much for tuning in, listening to me, and stay tuned for more. Okay. Mwah. Bye.